everyone, welcome back to Talkback Radio. Here today we've got the writer of the best-selling novel The Hunger Games. Hello, Miss Collins. How are you?
Hi, Matthew. I'm very well, thanks, and call me Suzzane.
Okay, now let's get into business. Where did you get the idea of the Hunger Games from?
Well, I got the idea for the Hunger Games by watching television and just flicking between two channels. One was on a game show where kids were fighting for a prize, and the other was a real war. These two shows planted a seed in my head, and this is how I came up with the idea of the Hunger Games.
That is amazing how you come up with ideas from the simplest of things, like watching television. So almost anyone can become a famous writer, just like you, Miss Suzzane Collins, by just having an imagination and paying attention to what is happening around you.
Yes, it is amazing how sometimes you can get your ideas from the weirdest things.
Yes, it is amazing sometimes. Well, remember, we are taking calls now, so if you want to ask Miss Suzzane Collins a question, call 86410284. Thank you. We have our first caller, Joe, on the phone.
Why did you make the main character a female?
Oh, thanks for that question, Joe. I made the main character female because most leading characters are males, and I wanted the young girls around the world to know that they can be stronger than boys when it comes to anything. This is shown in the Hunger Games when Katniss wins by killing many boys and girls by outsmarting them.
Thanks for sharing that interesting piece of information with us, Susan.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Joe, for that call. Now I've got a question for you, Susan. How did you want to influence the readers of the novel?
Well, I wanted to tell the readers that nothing good comes easily because most kids these days get exactly what they want by asking their parents for it.
True.
Yeah.
But especially little kids these days. They especially get what they want. Now, which character did you enjoy writing about and why?
Well, my favourite character to create was Peter because he's so friendly and nice. He shows these qualities by helping Katniss in and out of the Hunger Games.
Now we've got a new caller, Liz, from McGill. Now, Liz, what did you want to ask Susan?
Do you think today's society will end up like the Hunger Games?
Oh, hi Liz. Yeah, thanks for that question. No, I didn't write the book because I think the world is going to end like the Hunger Games, but we might just end up like the Capitol.
Why do you think we're going to end up like the Capitol?
I think that we're heading to a world like the Capitol because now every person in the world has at least one electronic appliance in their home. I believe about 20 years' time we will all have buttons in the walls of our homes. These buttons will be able to do any household things from sweeping and vacuuming to drying us after a shower. I think that when this comes, the world would be a lot easier than it is now because you wouldn't have to do much in your life.
Thank you, Susan, for that elaborate response, and thank you, Liz, for calling us. Okay, now I've got another question for you, Susan. Why do you think The Hunger Games is a bestseller for the young and the old?
I'm not 100% sure why it is the bestseller, but if I had to think of a reason, I feel it might be all of the action in the novel, which captivates the imagination of young and old.
Okay, we've got time for one more call from Trevor. So now, Trevor, what is your question? Oh, it looks like he's hung up. Well, disappointing. Okay, to conclude this interview, I have read all 3 of your books. And I would like to know, and I think all your fans out there would like to know, are you writing a 4th book on the Hunger Games?
Sorry, Matthew, I'm not able to tell you that right now. It's sort of a secret.
Fine. Thank you for giving up your time anyway and talking to us. We wish you the very best for the future.
Thank you, Matthew, and to your listeners. Thanks for having me.